Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to call this video The Exploitation of the Death of Kenneka Jenkins for Monetary Gain. You guys know that we had people in the community in the beginning who thought they were writers, right? And they wanted to write books about Kenneka Jenkins. Some of them were successful at doing, however, their writing skills were very poor, but they still were able to get this done, okay? And one of the ways that they chose to sell this book is through Amazon, right? So just from randomly searching the book area on Amazon, because I'm an avid reader, I was just looking through it, I came across this particular book called The Death of Kenneka Jenkins. A beautiful young soul. Tyshandra Barnes is the author of the book, okay? As you can see, the rating of the book was 2.1, so very, very poor in writing. But let's go ahead on and tap into it so we can see a little bit about her thoughts, the author's thoughts on the death of Kenneka Jenkins, right? The death of Kenneka Jenkins, a beautiful young soul. There you have a picture of the author, and then she goes on to give a little brief, description of what the book is about, all right? So it says, the death of Kenneka Jenkins is about a young girl who was murdered in Chicago, Illinois, Rosemont Hotel, and left to die in a freezer. Her friends set her up to get murdered. Okay, now I'm gonna tap into the writing because I want to show you how easy it is for people with no writing skills to write books, right? It says, her friends set her up to get murdered. Addition to her organs were removed from her body. This young girl came up missing on the night of September in 2017 and reported dead. This young girl was drugged, raped, and her friends did not seem to care. I want you to pay attention, okay? As I said, I'm an avid reader and I'm a prolific writer. So upon looking at this paragraph, I find so much mistakes in the writing, okay, as far as punctuations are concerned, right? But I just want to give you guys a look at how people have taken advantage of the Martin family, the Jenkins family, by way of exploiting the death of Kenneka Jenkins. So let's continue. It's hard to read things like this when, your punctuations are not, either they're missing or they're in the wrong places. So it's kind of hard to read this little paragraph, right? So it says, this young girl was drugged, comma should have been after that, raped, and her friends actually, comma shouldn't have been after that, and should have been in the middle of drug raped, okay? Because there's no third word for an additional comma, right? Her friends did not seem seen, care. All right? Her case spark, not sparked, spark national headlines throughout Chicago, Illinois. No period. The sentence continues. Some of her killers. That's a complete sentence about to be spoken with no capitulations or anything. No periods and no capitulations on the word some. Some of her killers were caught and some arrested. Complete and total lie. There was no killer ever caught and arrested in the death of Kenneka Jenkins. The case was ruled an accident from the very beginning. Other girls were reported dead and came up missing. All right? That sentence is completed after missing, but it carries on. Young girls from the west side, the west and south side of Chicago, Illinois, came up dead, as well as murdered in the name of Jesus. So here we have a double descriptive. Some girls from the west side of Chicago, Illinois, came up dead as well as murdered. Not understanding that dead and murdered are equal and the same. To this day, none of their killers were caught. Likewise, there are too many young girls missing, cases going unsolved, and may the death of Kenneka Jenkins will be a wake-up call to many young girls. Now, this young lady respectfully, I'm using her as an example as to how people have taken advantage of the Martin family, Teresa Martin's family. Okay? This young lady wrote a book about the death of Kenneka Jenkins, guys. I'm going to read it again. I have to read it again because I want you guys to get a chance to let it soak in how people were money hungry and took advantage of Kenneka's death to profit, for a profit, to make a profit, to put money in their pockets. But they called themselves advocates. They called themselves concerned about what happened to Kenneka and all that other stuff. This is really mind-boggling to me. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this little descriptive that is written and I'm going to rewrite it for you so you can actually get a chance to see how a real author would write this descriptive. Okay, but let me read it one more time for you. The death of Kenneka Jenkins. Right? Look at this. Look at this. A beautiful young soul. The death of Kenneka Jenkins is about a young girl who was murdered in Chicago, Illinois. There's supposed to be a period there. Rosemont Hotel and, well, I don't know what she's trying to say. Listen, the death of Kenneka Jenkins is about a young girl who was murdered in Chicago, Illinois, Rosemont Hotel. And left to die in a freezer. This young lady doesn't even understand that Chicago and Rosemont are two different cities in the state of Illinois. Her friends set up her to get murdered. Addition to her organs were removed from her body. This young girl came up missing on the night of September in 2017 and reported dead. This young girl was drugged, raped, and her friends did not seem to care. Her case sparked, not sparked, spark, national headlines throughout Chicago, Illinois. Some of her killers were caught and some arrested. Other girls were reported dead and came up missing. No punctuation. Young girls from the west and south side of, no punctuation, no capital letters, Chicago, Illinois, came up dead as well as murdered. To this day, none of their killers were caught. Likewise, there are too many young girls missing, cases going unsolved. And may the death of Kenneka Jenkins will be a wake-up call to many young girls. Okay? This is a copywritten piece of material by a professed author named Tyshandra Renetta Barnes. It's available in Kindle and paperback. All right? The book is called The Death of Kenneka Jenkins, A Beautiful Young Soul by Tyshandra Barnes. Yeah, y'all heard it. This is what we had to go through in the beginning, and this book was written in 2018. So a lot of us know about how so many people took advantage of the death of Kenneka Jenkins just in order to line their pockets with money. All right, we've seen it all. This young lady, Tyshandra Renetta Barnes, she even put her photograph on the back of her book. Her book ratings was a 2.1, okay, out of 5 stars. You guys go ahead on and check out Amazon and look at these things for yourself. There's another lady who wrote a book named Gina McGill, filled with all types of misinformation. Yeah, it's easy to do, but is it the right thing to do? Especially when your heart isn't in it, when you are spreading misinformation, when you are doing it basically for monetary gain, not doing it because you want to get right information out to the masses. You just take, you take it upon yourself to create a story about a situation, and then you go monetize it. It's real sad, guys. Again, this video is called The Exploitation of the Death of Kenneka Jenkins for Monetary Gain. This book is written by Tyshandra Renetta Barnes. The title of the book is The Death of Kenneka Jenkins, a beautiful young soul. You guys have a great day. I do not promote, or this is not a promotion of the book. In fact, this is a denouncement of the book. I repeat, this is a denouncement of the book. The only people who should be purchasing this book is people who want to critique and people who want to get the true message out about Kenneka Jenkins. Other than that, don't purchase this book. Just from the synopsis of her storyline, we know that it is filled with misconceptions. It's not based on the facts. So you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.